Finding yourself puzzled by your partner's erratic behaviour? It's time to consider what might be lurking beneath the surface. In this video, we're investigating the complex patterns of narcissism in relationships. Prepare to gain a deeper understanding of these challenging dynamics. 1. The silent treatment. One of the most perplexing situations for a husband is when his wife gives him the silent treatment, a chilling tactic used by narcissistic wives. When she feels slighted or not in control, she retreats into a fortress of silence, leaving him in a state of utter bewilderment. It's as if a sudden and impenetrable wall was sprung up between them. No words, no explanations, just an icy void. This calculated tactic serves to destabilise him, making him second-guess himself and strive to break through her barricade, ultimately granting her the upper hand in the power dynamic. 2. Undermining confidence. A narcissistic wife possesses a subtle mastery in the art of undermining her husband's confidence. Through carefully crafted comments and gestures, she plants seeds of self-doubt that take root over time. These seemingly innocuous jabs slowly erode his belief in himself, leaving him questioning his abilities and worthiness. It's a covert form of manipulation designed to keep him malleable and dependent on her validation. In her eyes, a husband with diminished self-esteem is more pliable, making it easier for her to assert dominance and maintain control over the relationship. 3. Triangulation games. Enter the world of triangulation, a calculated move in the narcissistic playbook. When a narcissistic wife senses a shift in power dynamics, she introduces a third party into the equation. This could be a friend, family member, or even a new acquaintance. She orchestrates a mix of tension, insecurity, and rivalry with the addition of this third component. By dividing his attention and creating conflict, she effectively maintains her position as the focal point, making it difficult for him to form authentic connections with others. 4. Gaslighting tactics. Gaslighting, a cruel and deceptive strategy, is a favoured tool of the narcissistic wife. When her control is challenged, she deftly manipulates reality to make her husband question his own sanity. She might recount events differently or entirely deny their occurrence. With phrases like, "You're imagining things," or "That never happened," she systematically chips away at his trust in his own memory and perception. This insidious technique leaves him in a perpetual state of doubt, rendering him more susceptible to her influence. 5. Exploitation of vulnerabilities. For a narcissistic wife, exploiting her husband's vulnerabilities is like playing a winning hand. She identifies his weaknesses and capitalizes on them to maintain a power dynamic that heavily favors her. These vulnerabilities could be emotional, financial, or psychological. Whether it's exploiting his fear of confrontation or his need for affirmation, she deftly uses these weaknesses to keep him in a state of dependency. This calculated strategy ensures that she remains the puppeteer, pulling the strings from behind the scenes. 6. Love bombing, followed by disappearance. Imagine this emotional roller coaster, with its bursts of sudden coldness and moments of intense adoration. This is the hallmark of a narcissistic wife's love bombing and hoovering technique. During the bombing phase, she makes him feel like the centre of the universe, lavishing affection and attention. But this is just a ploy, a calculated move to bind him closer. And then, like a rug pulled from under his feet, she disappears, leaving him bewildered and yearning for the warmth he felt just moments ago. It's a manipulative cycle designed to keep him emotionally hooked, forever seeking the fleeting moments of affirmation she occasionally doles out. 7. Projection of her insecurities. Under the facade of confidence lies a narcissistic wife's own set of insecurities. Rather than confronting and addressing them, she employs a more malicious tactic, projecting them onto her husband. If he dares to display strength or independence, she'll accuse him unfairly, claiming he's arrogant or overbearing. It's a twisted mirror reflecting her own fears, transferring the burden onto him. By making him carry the weight of her insecurities, she ensures that he remains under her thumb, never staying too far from her control. This projection is both a defense mechanism and a means of asserting dominance, a subtle reminder that in her eyes, he is the vessel of her own anxieties. 8. Belittling achievements. Imagine a scenario where he excitedly shares his accomplishments, hoping for praise and validation. Instead, she responds with dismissive remarks or sarcastic quips. Over time, this wears away at his confidence. Each achievement, no matter how significant, is met with indifference or belittlement. This deliberate diminishment ensures he constantly seeks her approval, making him more malleable to her influence. Slowly but surely, his sense of self-worth erodes, leaving him increasingly reliant on her for validation. 9. Hoovering techniques. It's like riding a roller coaster of emotions. At times, she showers him with affection, attention, and adoration, making him feel like the centre of her universe. These moments are intense and intoxicating, creating a powerful emotional bond. Just as he begins to feel secure, she suddenly withdraws, leaving him bewildered and desperate for her approval once more. This push-pull dynamic keeps him emotionally off balance, making it challenging to establish a sense of stability or autonomy. It's a carefully choreographed dance designed to keep him ensnared in her web of control. 10. Playing the victim card. The victim card is her favourite play, a masterstroke of manipulation. When he confronts her behaviour or seeks accountability, she deftly shifts the narrative, painting herself as the wounded party. Through tearful accounts and carefully chosen words, she elicits sympathy and support from those around her. This calculated move leaves him in a precarious position. Questioning her actions suddenly feels like an attack on an already vulnerable soul. The result? She once again gains the upper hand, effectively shutting down any attempt to challenge her behaviour. It's a tactic that leaves him feeling guilty, confused, and powerless in the face of her emotional prowess. 11. Deflecting and blame shifting. In moments of accountability, a narcissistic wife's playbook often includes the art of deflection. Instead of taking responsibility for her actions, she masterfully redirects the conversation, leaving her husband bewildered and questioning his own judgment. This leaves him in a perpetual state of doubt, wondering if he's overreacting or misunderstanding the situation. With this manipulation technique, the narcissistic wife maintains a stronghold on the narrative, ensuring her actions are never truly scrutinized. 12. Sabotaging personal growth. For a narcissistic wife, her husband's personal growth is perceived as a direct threat to her dominance. Thus, she deploys a range of covert tactics to undermine his progress. This might manifest as subtle critiques or even passive-aggressive behaviours designed to erode his confidence and motivation. In more calculated instances, she might actively work behind the scenes to thwart his endeavours, sabotaging opportunities and impeding his path to success. By systematically dismantling his confidence and hampering his achievements, she aims to ensure he remains under her control, tethered to her authority. This nasty form of manipulation leaves him second-guessing his own potential. 13. Public humiliation. This tactic cuts deep, leaving scars that can last a lifetime. A narcissistic wife may not only target her husband behind closed doors, but she's also adept at wielding public humiliation as a weapon. Whether it's a snide remark at a social gathering or a demeaning comment in front of family, these instances erode his self-esteem and keep him in a perpetual state of unease. This public display of dominance not only reinforces her control, but also isolates him further, making it harder for him to seek support or escape the toxic dynamic. Over time, this constant humiliation can make him question his own worth, leaving him emotionally drained and socially isolated. 14. Financial manipulation. Money can be used as a weapon in the hands of a narcissistic wife. By taking control of the family's finances, she effectively limits his autonomy and reinforces her authority. This manipulation extends beyond simple budgeting. She may allocate resources in a way that leaves him financially dependent or cut off from access to accounts altogether. This control over finances not only restricts his ability to make independent decisions, but also ensures that he remains tethered to her for even the most basic needs. This tactic is highly effective, as it erodes his sense of self-sufficiency, leaving him feeling trapped and powerless in the relationship. 15. Isolation techniques. One of the most cruel tactics a narcissistic wife can employ is isolation. She subtly but effectively works to sever her husband's connections with friends, family, and support networks. This is done through a series of calculated moves, from planting seeds of doubt about these relationships to actively discouraging him from spending time with loved ones. By isolating him, she ensures that he becomes increasingly dependent on her for emotional validation and support. This not only reinforces her control, but also leaves him feeling trapped and powerless, as if there's no one else he can turn to for help or perspective. Having explored the dynamics of a narcissistic wife, what's next? Dive into 10 narcissistic phrases, or discover what happens when the female narcissist loses control. Thanks for joining us. Please like, comment and subscribe, then continue this important exploration with your next video choice.